Hi, everyone. Very excited for today's GGinspire going live, ready to share with you guys some of what we took away from our 10X event. Just got back. Well, not exactly just got back. Got back on Saturday night because I wanted to see my girls, wanted to spend some time with them. And it's been a great few days. Like, we just had a ton of fun and a lot of great energy, a lot of great people. I actually just got off the phone with somebody who was at the event with us, and so not really just, there was so much networking. There was so many great opportunities to be able to meet people and talk with them, and just kind of have a meeting of the minds and get more and more people there. Like, it was just really a great experience to have so many people to kind of hear their stories, hear their entrepreneurial journey, hear where they're coming from. Like, I mean, the guy I just got the phone with, he's from Wyoming. And he's in real estate, and I talked to a guy this morning who's does hard money lending, and just all sorts of really cool things and cool backgrounds and cool people that we met. And so it's just exciting to see and meet, when you have a group of 9,000 people. I mean, Grant and Elena Cardone, they totally killed it. They went from the last 10X Growth Con was 2,000 people, and this one was 9,000. So that's a huge amount of marketing, that's a huge amount of time and commitment. So it was just really amazing. And I'm just very grateful to be in a space where you can, have what you want and know that there are other people around you that are going to help you, that are going to extend an olive branch, that are going to give you another opportunity to be able to get to your next best level. And so, I just wanted to invite a few people on today and to share with you some of what we took away. A good friend of mine, Nancy Apps, we went on this event together. We went to this event together, and it was such a great experience. And I really want to share with you guys some of what we took away. So that's what we'll do. So I invited a couple other people out today for the event, and so for our go live. So excited to have you here. Hi, Kristen. Hi, Jason. Hi, Karen. Karen's been coming in a few times, so I'm glad to see you. So here's GGinspire's takeaways for today. So Bradley, a lot of you guys might know Bradley. He is actually a really great storyteller, and he's somebody who just naturally seems to kind of engage you in his story, and then he gets to the end and you're like, oh wow, there's the point, But he almost would actually make the point ahead of time and then tell you the story and still get you there. But his story was about how he was young and how he really was very good at talking to people, but he got to the point where he wasn't himself, and he told a lie about himself and his family, and it was really it ended up a really bad thing. But then he ended up moving, and he went to a whole new place, but he was able to be himself. Then he had a start over. If you ever moved to a new town and you have a do-over. Oh, David's super excited for our event on Sunday. We've got an event on Sunday coming up with the incredible Nicole Went. She's going to be speaking, and we have a couple of nonprofits that are going to be there, Helping Heroes and Lionheart. They're going to be doing a kids workshop. So make sure, if you're thinking about, because most of you guys, I posted something today and I was thinking about how most people are trying to do something, they want to do something different with their kids. This is a perfect opportunity to be able to bring your kids and go to this workshop and enjoy it and actually hear from a speaker that's going to tell you the exact truth. He's going to tell you exactly what's going on that we weren't educated about, and you'll get a lot out of it. And there's food and raffle prizes, so totally not something you want to miss. It's at 1:30. It's at the American Legion in Woodland Hills. It's right off of Ventura and Fallbrook, so make sure you're there. If you're from out of state and you're hearing this, or if you're out of the city and you're hearing this, make sure you let people know that this event is going on, and just share this message and share some of our posts that we've been putting out, because it's going to be an incredible event. And I think we have maybe about 5 or 10 seats left, so just don't miss it. Okay, so Bradley was talking about being authentic and being yourself and being ethical. Those are super important things that we forget about and we totally miss. And we're all trying to especially in social media. I heard all these speakers up there at 10X, and some of you guys that are on here do the same thing. And I'm not blaming you, but we all do this. Most of us have our lives are okay, we're doing all right. We're moderately happy, but we as soon as we get in front of the camera, we're like, ooh, yes, all right, social media, let me do my selfie, right? And we paint this picture of magic that we have in our lives, right? But we don't, hey, Nico, but we don't necessarily have that kind of magic in our lives all the time. And we spend our time showing people that little bit of magic, But the rest of our lives, like, you know, most of our day to day is like Tim's story was saying, like mundane, messy, you know. And Andy Frisella, I was going to talk about him. He basically said that like when he runs a huge business, right? Like a $200 million business. And he's like, when I look at hiring people, like how you do one thing is how you do everything. So he's like, so when I interview people, like I follow them out to their car and I want to see what they look like. And I think the whole audience was like, oh, my car is kind of like that. Doesn't look that good right now. So, you know, it's not that we have to stay where we are in that messy and that mundane and that madness. Like we don't have to stay where we are, but we have to make goals and get better to be able to create the magic that we want and take steps to be able to get better and improve, right? And get to the point where you can start to have all the things that you want and they start to come to you, right? You're attracting those things when you ask for them, right? Like you got to 10x them. You got to get out there and you got to, you know, put in the universe how badly you want these things. And like Grant talks about, like you have to have this 10x kind of effort in order to be able to create it, because the 1x or the 2x or even the 5x effort isn't going to get you the result you want. Like most of the time, it's not that our goals are too big. It's that we don't put forth enough effort to be able to create them in reality. We underestimate the amount of effort that we've got to put towards it. So yeah, Andy was really awesome. So Bradley was incredible. He told us all that we need to wake up at 5 a.m. The guy that I talked to this morning, the hard money lender, he was basically telling me that he gets up at like 4:15 and works out every day. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. Like that's like almost when feels like when I'm going to sleep. I go to sleep like probably about 1 o'clock every day. So getting up at 5 is a struggle, but I work on it every single day. Every day I'm committed to it. It just doesn't always happen the way that I want it to. But it's something that we got to keep working on, right? So he talked about getting up at early, and taking, because that time, I saw it on a post the other day that was like that time between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. is when most people who are goal achievers will be up. They'll be up at that time because 5 to 8 a.m. is the goal achieving time. So make it happen. Take those steps and get after it. And you might get a little less sleep for a little bit amount of time, but it's not that bad, right? So, okay, so Andy Frisella talked about developing a culture of winning. And so that idea of going out to the car and checking what you look like, literally I went home and I was like, I got to clean my car. I got to make sure and clean my car. And I also have to get my kids in the habit of cleaning the car also. And, you know, taking responsibility and taking the initiative. That was something that I really loved that Andy talked about, is he talked about taking initiative and what was the other thing he said? Accepting responsibility, right? So most people, like if you've been at a job or you've been somewhere and you asked or you complained about something, right? And you said like, oh, well, this needs to be fixed. And somebody said to you, oh, that's not my job, or that's somebody else's job. You know what? You're in business. You have to make sure and take the initiative and get things done the right way. You have to take responsibility, because if you're ever going to be able to own anything, you have to take responsibility for it before it happens, right? So you got to create that life and you got to create that responsibility to be able to do what you want and succeed in life, right? Hey, Ebony. Hi, Susie. So the other thing that he talked about was correcting people. And this is a really interesting one, because so I've been in business for 10 years. And I remember when I just started in business and I would be training somebody new and they would make like a bunch of errors, a ton of them. Or even it was one or two. But I would think to myself, like, okay, I got to share with them that they're making these errors, but I didn't want to because I was afraid, right? I was like, well, what are they going to say? Or I hope they're not mad, or I don't want to hurt their feelings or whatever. No, that was bad. That was really bad for me to do, because you know what it did? It hurt them. It didn't allow them to grow. It didn't allow them to get better. And it also didn't give me the opportunity to be able to take that initiative and be accountable, right? Like, so this is an important thing to be able to know, is that it's okay to give somebody like course correction or constructive criticism. Like, you don't want to be combative and you don't want to tell them like bad things, but at the same time, like, you want to be able to, you know, improve what they're doing. And sometimes they don't know what they're doing. Like sometimes they got people that, you know, they don't know that they need to dress sharp, or they need to like, they should wear a suit, or they should, you know, wear some slacks and a nice shirt. Like, if you're in business, you need to be representing yourself in business and you need to get better, right? So if you actually, let me ask you guys, like, when was the first time that you realized that you needed to like step up your game, right? Was it at a certain job? Was it in school? Did you meet somebody? Was it at this 10X growth conference? Like, when did you realize that you needed to step up your game to the next level? Like, comment, let us know. Like, let us know exactly what you were doing, you know, and because I'll tell you this, when you step up your game, everybody around you takes notice. And so if you are ever going to be able to elevate your game, right, you want to be able to step up to the next level and start, you know, associating yourself with people that are doing better than you, or that are creating the kind of life that you want, or have the income that you want, or the family that you want. You got to be able to do that kind of stuff, right? And take it to the next level. So, oh, and then the last thing that Andy talked about was identifying your mission consistently. So some of us will share, you know, what we want to be able to do. Like, we have a huge task that we want to do. We want to have about 100 locations, not about 100 locations by 2020, which is a huge undertaking. But if you don't share that message consistently, like we talk about it every single day, if you don't share that message consistently, it's never going to happen. And if you don't share that message with your people, you've got to make sure that they understand where you're going. And do they fit inside of it? Is it something that they can create with you, right? That they can be on that journey together. So the consistency is important, like getting out there and sharing your vision and your mission all the time. Like, what is your vision? What is it that you want to be able to create for your life? Is it in real estate? Is it in business? Is it in finance? Is it in your job? Is it that you want to keep getting promoted? Like, what is it that you really want? Is it an income level? You have to really figure out what you want. And like Ebony said right there, you got to dress the part to be the part. You got to actually do it, right? So the consistency goes with it, of sharing your message, looking the part, acting the part, and making yourself better every single day, right? Like, looking back in the rearview mirror isn't going to help you. You need to look and make sure that you're focused at least on your present, to make sure your present is taking you towards your future the right way, right? So if the future is where you want to be, but your present is going to get you there. So you got to, like, almost like you need to like dream about the future, but you need to work in the present to make it happen. And you need to make sure that you're consistently looking at, what am I doing in the present? Am I sharing these messages? Am I being accountable? Am I accepting responsibility, so that you can move forward faster, right? Because that future, you want it to come to you as fast as possible. So let's make it happen. Okay, so I want to also cover Ed Mylett, because, you know, like, if you were at this GrowthCon, or you saw the live stream, like Ed Mylett, I think I probably prospected just over 50 people. I got like 50 new contacts at this event, which was huge, right? But pretty much every single person that I talked to was like blown away by Ed Mylett. Ed Mylett is the agency chairman of WFG, incredible, right? So I've worked with him for years and years and years. I've watched him speak. Like, he's always been like just an like knockdown, drag out, incredible speaker. But he's always made you feel like you're the only person in the room, right? Like, he's just talking to you. And this is like a skill that I think he's had for years and years, but now he's been kind of shared with the world, you know? So we're super excited about the opportunity to be able to, you know, have so many more people see what we're doing as a company. And Ed Mylett at the forefront, I mean, he just blew people away. Like, I would ask people, like, oh, who's your favorite speaker? Oh, Ed Mylett was amazing. Like, he was incredible. And he talked about, you know, people wonder like what he does and where he was able to make all his money. And he made a lot of his money in WFG. But the thing is that he talked about is that he's almost like evangelical, right? Like, he talked about being evangelical towards your cause. Like, so in any event, in any company, any entity that you're going after, any dream that you're going after, you've got to be evangelical. You've got to be after it. You've got to be passionate. You've got to be like so super focused that you got to be able to make it happen. And here's the deal. If you're not like almost obsessed, right? Like Grant says, be obsessed or be average. Ed Mylett talked about, you've got to be evangelical about your cause. Otherwise it will never happen. So, you know, sometimes what happens is that people are like, they're passionate, they're energetic, and they're super excited about what they want to be able to create. But the fact of the matter is that other people look at them like, oh, they're weird, or they're taking it to, you know, to an extreme level, or they're too energetic, or they're too in your face. Yeah, there's no too in your face when you actually believe what you're talking about. And if you know that you have something good to be able to create for somebody else, like, you should be evangelical about it, and you should be like in their face, and you should be letting them know, like, hey, in the nicest possible way, of course, you're kind of dumb if you don't do this, right? So that cause and that passion and belief, that's transferable. And you have to get to that point with whatever it is that you're doing to be able to make it happen in your life. I am that way about my business. I love it. but I'm not here to talk too much about that. The idea is that I want you guys to understand that as an entrepreneur, you got to get behind your mission and your passion behind what it is that you want to create and what you want to do potentially for other people. Otherwise, that message isn't going to get across. Because for us, especially in like social media land where everybody's hearing this all the time, like our attention span's like 6 seconds. Like, I mean, I already had a bunch of people jump on and jump off of this video, right? So when you have that attention span so short, you got to make sure that you're actually like connecting with people and you're letting them know that they can create the life that they want, but they've got to get after it. And your passion is going to help them get to the point where they can be passionate about what they're doing. So you got to be obsessed. Otherwise, you won't succeed. And then the last one that I want to talk about is, and I'll take any questions that you guys have, please, because it was an incredible event and I would love to answer any questions that you have, was Tim Grover. Tim Grover was amazing, right? So he, you know, he's the author of Relentless. He is a like coach, and I mean, he wasn't totally just a coach, but like more of a trainer for like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and, you know, a lot of superstars. And he differentiates and calls them either they were a cooler, a closer, or a cleaner, right? And I can give you guys some of the basics of what those are, but I think a lot of you guys could read his book, and this is not an advertisement for his book. I think it was awesome. But like the cooler, like waits to be told to do stuff. They hesitate before acting. They don't take sides or make decisions, but they fit into the plan, but they're not the playmakers. They're not like almost like the floor general. They're not going out there and making it happen, right? They'll definitely do it if you tell them what to do, but you need to tell them. The closers, they get the job done when you give them the plan. So if you lay out the plan for them, they'll create it. They study the game plan, but they're not uncomfortable when something, like they're uncomfortable when something unpredictable happens. So they're not able to like kind of just step in the game and just kind of fix it. But the cleaner looks at everything like, I own this. Like, this is mine. This is my arena. Don't step on my court, basically, is the way he looked at it from the NBA standpoint, right? And he actually posted something the other day that was like, it was during some game, and my husband's going to get so mad at me because I didn't know which game it was. But Kobe was like, I guess they were in the finals, they were in the playoffs or something like that. And Chris Rock and David Spade were like next to Kobe on the sideline. And Chris Rock is like talking to him, like chatting him up, this, that, and the other. And it pans to Kobe, and he is just like dead-faced, like just staring at the court, like almost like, I don't even hear you. Like, he didn't even look in this direction. He's paying him no mind. And that is a cleaner, right? A cleaner who they don't settle. They want to go for legendary. They want to do everything they can to be able to create it. And they don't just succeed once. They succeed again and again and again and again. And everything that they do is about the end result. Like, they don't go on there thinking about worrying about anything else but the success, the result that they want to be able to create. So that is like, those are some of my biggest takeaways. The other one that Tim Grover talked about that was like a little bit more personal, it was, you know, he said somebody did something to you, right? Hi Stacey, somebody did something to you at some point in your life, and that's renting space in your head, basically, is what he talked about. He said, you let somebody set up shop in here, and that is the thing that's keeping you from, you know, moving to your next level or getting everything that you want. Somehow you feel like that's the thing that's holding you back, right? And so I really took that to heart, and I started really thinking about, you know, the way that I view things and my story. And, you know, I've always been in a position that I thought I was really great at things, right? But in the back of my mind, if I wasn't perfect, right, I was missing something, right? And if I wasn't like, I have never been like, I've never been the thinnest girl ever, right? I see pictures of myself when I was a little girl and I was like super skinny. And then I see pictures of myself when I was like a lot bigger, all as I was growing up. And then there was like a year or two that I was like super skinny again. And then the rest of my life, I've been like overweight. And that's okay, right? It's not the end of the world. But when you grow up in a place believing that if you're not the perfect body, that you don't have the highest worth, that you're not as good as you could be, you're just not perfect. And so, you know, that for me, it's really crazy, because one of the other speakers, and some people liked him and some people didn't, his name was Hank Norman. And he talked about how you have to actually talk about pain. You have to let people know that, like, you have pain. Like, the sunshine and roses of what you see is not always real, right? And it comes from pain, and every single person out there has pain, and so you have to show it. And so I'm okay with telling people, like, yes, I'm not a size 2, and I will always work to be healthy and better, but it's not about what you look like. It's about who you are on the inside and the worth and value you bring to other people. So I just wanted to share with you guys, and I'll share with the world, any of my issues. But I think at the end of the day, like, we all have these issues that keep us from getting to the next level, and we limit ourselves, or we get all fired up and we get all excited about what we want to be able to do, and then something steps in and stops us. So what is it for you? Maybe you don't want to post that here, right? But what is it for you? Like, I want you guys to really think about, like, who said something to you, or who changed your mindset about yourself, right? I tell this story sometimes, and I'm sure my mom's going to get mad at me for sharing this, but years ago when I was a teenager, my mom said to me, honey, you're not going to be the kind of person that somebody sees across a crowded room and falls in love with. You're going to be the kind of person that somebody is friends with first, and then they'll fall in love with you. And I remember hearing that and thinking, that is the freaking rudest thing I've ever heard. Like, I cannot believe she just said that to me. And it really hurt my feelings. And I told her about it like a few years ago, and she was like, well, I didn't mean for it to be that way. But I just want you guys to know, the person that I ended up marrying was somebody that I was friends with first. Like, we were friends for a long time, and then we fell in love, we got married, and we had kids. But I think to myself, oh my gosh, like, it really was exactly the way that she said. And so, but for years and years, I think I was like 15 or 16 when she said that to me, and it like broke my heart. And I was like, oh my God, does that mean I'm ugly? Does that mean that I'm like not like somebody that, somebody could actually fall in love with because I'm beautiful on the outside, like instantly? Or is it they just have to know me to love me? Like, like a mother's love. Like, you're not really like, you're not really that cute, but you're, somebody that someone would grow to love eventually. And I was like, that freaking sucks. But at the end of the day, I'm very happy. My husband takes care of me, and we have a wonderful family. But you never know. Like, people say things to you sometimes that make an impact on you that stay, and you don't know what those things are going to be. And so sometimes it takes some soul searching to figure out what is it that somebody said to you or that somebody did to you in your past that keeps you from, reaching your best you. And don't let whatever somebody's opinion or somebody's thought, because it's just that, and they probably didn't give it a second thought when they said it or when they did it, but it made an impact on you, right? So sharing those kinds of things can set you free and can get you to the next level. So I've always prided myself on being somebody who is continually trying to get better. And believe you me, and my husband tells me all the time, like, that I have to stop saying this, but I'm going to share with you guys. I always say, like, I have my issues, or I have this or I have that. But it doesn't make any sense if you have those things if you're not working to get better, right? So we're all working to get better. Ebony said, I use what people say as my fuel to get better. Actually, absolutely, to do better. Thank you, Jewel. I have 2 lovely daughters. I love them. And I post as much as I can of them because they make me so happy. And it's funny because I thought I would have boys, right? Because I was a tomboy my whole life. And so the universe decided, God, whatever you guys, everyone out there is listening to this, like, whatever you decided that I was going to have girls, and I was going to have girly girls that like nail polish and dresses and hair stuff and all that stuff. Like my daughter, the oldest one, she's a super girly girl. But anyway, I digress. So the whole point is that I wanted to give you guys some of the nuggets that we took away, because it was just an incredible event, and there was a lot of really great things about it. And there were some things that I didn't particularly like, but I did get a lot out of it, and I really felt like, the being around people of like minds made a huge impact on me. I was told that because I was a teen. Oh, do you want me to share this, Ebony? It's a comment out there. So Ebony said that I was told because I was a teen mom I wouldn't get anywhere in life or do anything. LOL. But yeah, but look at her, right? Ebony is an author. She's got 4 kids. She's incredible. She's a leader. She's somebody that people want to follow, and she's an influencer. She's going out there. She's got like a t-shirt line, and like she's got books and all these different things that she's been able to create. And so that is true. Like, you can use that as fuel to be able to get get you to where you want to be and to the next level. And I think it's almost like there's the cleaner side of that, right? That's like, oh, you don't believe me? Oh, just watch, right? You don't think that I'm going to be able to find it, or you don't think I'm going to be able to do something with my life? Just watch. And so anytime anybody's ever doubted me, I've gone in the other direction, right? So I don't like it when people doubt me, because I think we all have enough like either doubts or fears within ourselves that can stop us from going to the next level. But when it comes from somebody else, it's almost like, yeah, it's like gasoline on a fire is what it feels like. David, what'd you say? Oh, you're so sweet. He's saying wonderful things about me, and I appreciate it. How important is it to make connections with stronger associations for you and your goals? You know what? I feel like connections and associations are like of vital importance. You have to be good within yourself, and you have to know that you bring value to everyone in some way, shape, or form, but always talking to new people and always like sharing the story of what you want to create. Like we talked about it the other day, like not so much the how and the what of what you're doing, but why you're doing it, because that makes a huge difference. And people don't care about what you do. They care about why you do it, right? And that's the thing that ties people, and it kind of touches their heart. Because oftentimes you're not doing things because most people are not doing things just because of the money. They're doing things because they have some type of desire that to help. Maybe that money will bring something, but it comes down to something that they want to be able to create. And it has to do with some, like in their family or some type of cause that they're behind. And that's usually what it is. So, but the associations are important. So you constantly need to be, introducing yourself and sharing with people the stories of what you're doing and meeting new people, so that's why we do these events. Like I said, Sunday, this event that we're doing with Nicole Wench, she's an incredible speaker, former Air Force, former Air Force public affairs specialist. She's incredible. So she's a veteran, she's a badass, she's pretty incredible. She's going to be speaking, and we're doing this event in conjunction with Helping Heroes and Lionheart, and it'll be this Sunday at 1:30 at the American Legion in Woodland Hills. So private message me if you have some questions. But please, you know what, you guys, share this message. Like invite people to see this live, because you don't know what kind of impact it can make on other people. So share it, comment, like, put it out there so that people can see that there's more resources out there if you're looking for something. The thing is that there's so many people out there that believe that they're not going to be able to get what they want out of life, but they're also not looking for it. If you're looking for it, things come into your lap. So you may share this with someone that happens to just see a little bit about what we're talking about and is like, wow, that girl in the glasses is pretty awesome. Like, wow, I didn't even realize, that I could take on more things than I thought. So David, you have one last question. Yeah. You mentioned you attended 10X Growth Con. A lot of people talk about how paying for those types of events are a waste of money. Why do you think it is important to invest in these types of events for yourself and those around you? So, some people, like, I think you could look at some of these events as like, oh, well, they got me to this event, and then these people came there, and then they pitched me on their other thing, right? But, what I find is that it was so valuable to be around people who are of all types of businesses. Like I met a guy in construction, and I met a guy who does like an easy finance app. And I met a guy, I met two ladies who are like international. They were from Amsterdam. I met they weren't a couple, but I met a gentleman and a lady that did like global technology, like wearable stuff. I met somebody who had like soap and like, so it's not even that the associations are incredible, but you know what? I think it is. It's like, it's just nice to be around people that are going after their dream. Right? They're going after it, whatever their dream is, even if it's not the same dream as yours, right? But finding and being in an environment where people are hungry to get better and create the life that they want, that inspires me, right? And, I'm GGinspire. I want to inspire as many people, but it felt so good to be around people who want to be able to do more, to get better, to like have passion, to have success, to have money, to have more time with their kids, like all these things that they dream about. It's like an event full of dreamers. So these events are worth it. We did pay for the event, right? But it was one of those things that I felt like if I didn't go to that event, I don't know what I would have missed out on, right? And so you could go into an event like that and you could look at it as like, oh, it's just this, or you could go in and make it something incredible. And like a lot of people went in there with the idea that they were going to find the business or find the method to be able to create the life that they want. And I believe many, many, many people did. And so, but it's up to them. Like you can go and you can sit in this event for 3 days or 4 days and you can, you know, get all the information and you could not use it. It's not the that the information isn't available to you. It's that, are you going to apply it, right? Are you going to take all this information that was given to you at an event like this and take it to the next level? And so most of the people that want to take it to the next level are the ones that are going to go to those types of events. And those are the kind of people you want to surround yourself with anyway. So so that's it for today. I hope you guys, if you have any other questions, please let me know. But I appreciate you guys. I'm glad that we got an opportunity to be able to share some of what we got from 10X. It was so awesome. There were so many great things about it. And I just wish you guys the best. Please like, comment, share this, put it out for other people to see. I'm putting out articles on Grant Cardone TV, and you can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook. I appreciate everything. Hey, Nicole. Yeah, definitely. Our company is absolutely incredible. It definitely made me appreciate like how good we have it. Like we've been doing these kinds of events with this kind of content, and awesome stuff about like mindset and vision and leadership and taking it to the next level and not charging people for it. So that was definitely a good part of it. And you know, just realizing that we as a company, and I know you guys, I don't talk about my company too much, but we as a company, we have it incredible. And the amount of growth that we're about to experience just because of having Ed Mylett out in front of us was just absolutely amazing. So I appreciate you. We love you. Let's go after it. Go find your dream and be inspired to have a great life.